everyone. This is Lauren Dalvia. I'm an astrologer and spiritual teacher here at Bene Mudra. And this is your astrological update for March 21st through March 28th. So what we have from the 23rd to the 25th is Mercury in Pisces in a square to the South Node, which is kind of like the karma placement in Sagittarius, and the North Node in Gemini, and Mars also in Gemini. So this is a pivotal choice, which might involve arguments or anxiety, as we're encouraged to look beyond old stories and hopes. A key truth or a lie might be uncovered. Sometimes it's lies that we tell ourselves. It's a really, really big week for doing trauma work and just unearthing, just like becoming aware of the stories that we tell ourselves, and dropping the old story. We also have on March 26th a conjunction between the Sun and Venus, both in Aries, and this really juicy opportunity or moment of happiness and celebration, an energy of change, impulse, new beginnings. Like this is suffused, and we're also encouraged to step forward and just like choose differently from the past. So it might be as easy as taking an honest look of things, and just being really happy with the clarity. There's nothing to hide is the point. Like that's what's really cool. And then March 28th, we have this big full moon in Libra, which opposes the Sun and Venus and Chiron, the wounded healer, all in Aries. So this is a culmination involving what you love and want is mixed with boldness and vulnerability, joy, and yes, pain, of which we all get a healthy dose, not necessarily this week, but just in life. True happiness also involves, triggering of wounds. And this is how we come to terms with what hurts and sort of release it. Like it's kind of a loaded full moon, but, and again, it's very helpful to me, to know that this astrology is there just to help. So I'm just going to give a little update for each sign. Aries, you have Mercury in your hidden area square to Mars. You're confronted with a missing piece of info or a hidden message. So just making the correct choice or asserting your opinion might be tricky when you don't have the full story. You just might need to expose also what you've been holding back. The full moon is in your partnership area. That's illuminating a relationship turning point, connected to communication and energized by conversation or a message. A full understanding of a situation is really crucial before you act. Whether this is new or an existing kind of partnership at work or love, you'll be intensely aware of any imbalances, especially Chiron is activated in your sign right now. So who is the wounded healer. So this relationship could make you feel vulnerable, or it could prompt you to love openly, even though it hurts. In some cases, dynamics between you and another could be reversed as your fears are triggered. So for now more than ever, it's important to acknowledge the wound while proceeding with courage. Taurus, Mercury is in your social area square to Mars and the North and South nodes. That suggests confusing messages from groups or from friends needs to be sorted, or your own public message needs to be distinct and truthful. Failure to do this could impact your financial and emotional security. So you just want to use caution, especially before acting on a source of income or engaging in a public argument. Just look clearly at what you're dealing with. That's all. Pray, all that stuff. Just look clearly. The full moon is in your area of routine. It's illuminating, anything to do with personal resources, clarity around public messages, knowing exactly what actions are going to support rather than be in conflict with your words, secret fire, hidden attraction, background goals, what you want, it just might not be time to go public with that stuff yet. But this full moon is in your area of routine. And so there will be issues of fantasy versus reality. Chiron is involved, so there will be hidden wounds. You'll just be asked to address practicalities and possible work or health stuff before you proceed any further. Is there something you want but are afraid to openly acknowledge is the question. Gemini. Mercury's in your career area, square Mars and the North Node in your sign, and then the South Node is in your partnership area. So that identifies a professional conversation or a piece of business information as a key challenge. So you might need to sort out what a partner or a competitor is saying before you move ahead with your next choice. Mars is conjunct the North Node in the same spot in the sky. So this will encourage you to act. One choice in particular might seem best for you, but unless you've separated indisputable facts from generalities and unproven promises first. Like you need to do that first. In some cases, this could manifest as an argument. So just like watch your feelings as they come through, like identify what they are, stay in them long enough to know what they mean, and just kind of work to avoid unnecessary conflict, and then just let go of, unleash what is the truth, and in a way that feels safe. um the sun and Venus are in your social area. That's bringing new friendships, social groups, attraction. Your public image is really benefits under this. Boosts of courage, like putting your true self out there. The full moon is in your area of self-expression, so that emphasizes all that stuff, and it also contrasts your personal talents, desires, contributions with social connections. So just any social anxiety or fear of exposing what you want or who you love can deliver a mix of longing and pain as you kind of discover new ways to tackle the wound. In some cases, you can actually attract others based on the public exposure of what hurts, just like vulnerability, like being willing to be seen in public in your truth, even if it's like an Instagram post or a newsletter, or however you communicate with your public. Chiron can have an oddly charismatic energy with this, especially when combined with Venus. Cancer. Mercury is in your area of opportunities in the square to Mars and the nodes. So that's a message involving travel, education, broadcasting, publishing, legal matters. It can trigger difficult choices. You're encouraged to expand beyond stagnant habits or troublesome work or health issues, but the path ahead may not be clear. Before you can act, you just have to understand which opportunities to apply to you, like which information is aligned with your ethics, what truly makes sense. Again, stop, drop, pray, journal, all that stuff, and just know that you'll be seen and supported by your own, by your own higher self. But to stop and actually ask for that is like hugely important right now. The full moon is in your domestic area, and that delivers a culmination in career and private life. So that's balancing between ambition versus family. That could be an issue. The culmination of the Chiron and Venus, the wounded healer and Venus in your career area, that suggests a mix of opportunity and vulnerability. So you might be putting yourself out there in ways that make you uncomfortable. In some cases, career success can activate wounds that are based on the past, but this can also be a chance to confront and power past those wounds and embrace the future, which is very cool. Leo, Mercury is in your area of shared resources in the square to Mars and the nodes. This highlights private conversations or information about shared finances, intimacy, and psychological matters. There might be a choice involving private matters going public or viewing intimate info in the context of your place in society. So public actions with conflict, public actions will conflict with what's happening behind the scenes, but this tension actually triggers necessary decisions. Mars and the North Node in your social area also suggests public efforts and new endeavors with a group setting. So a definitive choice is ready to be activated. It'll push you forward in society. First, behind the scenes matters, especially involving shared resources, must be sorted. So before you act, think, decipher, do the work. Sun and Venus are in your opportunities area. This can bring luck, unexpected relationships, brilliant possibilities, especially in the areas of broadcasting, publishing, travel, education, and legal matters. The full moon is in your communication area. That delivers answers or decisions related to Sun Venus. And a message can be a mix of good and bad news as opportunity and vulnerability is highlighted. This can also signify you choosing you, to tackle a wound and to make a choice that enables you to move forward in spite of fears around the unknown. So a lot of movement for Leo this week. Virgo, Mercury is in your partnership area, square Mars in the node. This sees you evaluating a message or a conversation involving someone else. So they might alert you to different choices around involving like career, future as you balance domestic versus professional. concern. So also a partner or competitor could also challenge your professional actions under this placement, possible. Mars in the North Node or in your career sector, this is bold move in terms of future goals, new job, professional contact, career path. This could be energized. So but you just must be, you must take everything into consideration. Sun, Venus in your area of shared resources can bring financial gifts, deepening intimacy, bursts of confidence, well-being. You can access courage and optimism easily under this. And the full moon is in your area of personal resources, so that delivers a culmination to that stuff. So the balance between your money versus your your money and your values versus what you share or owe will be highlighted. A debt may be paid, or a relationship result could involve charity. This is a mix of vulnerability and happiness. Results are aimed at boosting your security and self-sufficiency, but this will involve acknowledging fear of loss or the exposure of a sensitive issue. So we are being exposed under this full moon is the point. Like this is a full moon that unearths this week. Libra, Mercury is in your sector of routine in this square to Mars and the nodes. This signals troublesome health or work issues or obligations. So information about one of those situations, it will need to be balanced against the increasing urge to move forward or take a small risk. What you haven't corrected could hold you back until it's dealt with. That's all. It's like, that's just, it needs to be dealt with. Mars and the North Node are in your area of opportunities. That activates positive choices with regard to publishing and broadcasting and travel and education and matters, legal matters. You're encouraged to take advantage of all of an emerging scenario, step forward into new territory, but you must clarify what needs to be done or improved in your daily life. So before you say yes to an opportunity, just consider if other obligations you've agreed to are holding you back. So Sun and Venus are also in your partnership sector. That suggests, moments of pure love, new relationship, passion, joy in an existing relationship. It's a nice placement. Also, the full moon is in your sign, delivering a relationship turning point. So your projected wants or happiness could be an issue, along with relationship fears and vulnerability. While there's much to celebrate, you just need to consider if you're placing your happiness in the hands of someone else. Their wounds might also be a part of this package of consideration. Scorpio, Mercury is in your area of self-expression. That's square to Mars and the nodes. This suggests conversation messages involving creative work, new attractions. They must be evaluated. You're at a crossroads between focusing solely on yourself, surface issues versus going deeper and deeper into trust. So consider what lies beyond immediate self-gratification, and also consider what going deeper and trusting another will involve, especially in terms of values and money. So watch for arguments or tension that involves unexamined motivation or key issues or edgy outbursts. There are signs that a crucial choice needs to be made. The full moon is also in your hidden area, so that delivers conclusions, in the areas of routine, health and work issues, and obligations to others. It's also about the exposure of what was ignored or overlooked in those areas. So additional layers could be revealed in the guise of an imbalance that needs to be corrected. So this is about health, daily issues, or obligations to another. So while a weakness or vulnerability will be exposed, this culmination can signal a turning point, enabling you to integrate it into your daily reality. Sagittarius, Mercury is in your domestic area, square to Mars and the nodes, including the South Node, the karmic node in your sign. So that signals conversation at home or with family, or information from the past that draws your attention to partnership dynamics. A partner's actions or your projected assertiveness can stir up conflict as you're pushed to choose between your old ideals versus emerging information. It may feel like someone else is calling all the shots, so remember, you do have to have a say in this choice. Mars and the North Node are in your relationship area, so that suggests a partner's definitive choice or action which pulls you forward. However, domestic disagreements must be dealt with first under this. Sun and Venus are in your area of self-expression, so that can suggest boldness, new attraction, or creative work. It also could simply feel like celebrating and cutting loose, which is cool. I feel like Sagittarians need that. The full moon is in your social sector, so that delivers a result about that Sun and Venus stuff. Your talents, your happiness, your desire for someone else also will be revealed against the backdrop of the group or your friends. This also might involve the public exposure of your insecurities, which may not be a bad thing. It's an opportunity to confront what hurts with flair and charisma, to like be public about something and to share vulnerably as a means of being of service to yourself and the higher and your higher self in the world. Others will be drawn to your honesty for sure. Capricorn, Mercury is in your education area, square Mars and the nodes. This indicates a pivotal conversation or a message, a fantasy or a secret. It's ready to be exposed, analyzed in the light of current reality. You might have to take a hard look at what you're hearing, what you're saying, how does it stack up to your health, work, or obligations to others. A disruptive challenge might be part of this. Diagnoses, just like whatever's going on to shift your daily routine is going to be at the forefront. Mars in the North Node encourages you to choose differently this time, though, regarding health and routine and how you help others and how you approach your daily work. So watch for a surge of energy or busy work that draws you in a certain direction, but first make sure you separate fact from fiction. The Sun and Venus are in your domestic sector. They can signal moments with joy and family regarding home, home improvements, home work. Watch for a surge of ambition to make it better. There can also be benefits that involve home business or like additions to the family. And this full moon is in your career sector, so that delivers an energetic peak with all that Sun Venus stuff. A career result or a change in the balance between home and professional life will activate a mix of success and insecurity. So results that illuminate the future will simultaneously shed light on past wounds. This could be a very healing moment while you finally move forward from what had been holding you back. Aquarius, Mercury is in your area of personal resources. So this sees you looking at choices regarding income and values. So old public loyalties, social ideals, or your position in society are up for questioning. Do you want to continue along that path, or is it time to do something for yourself? Ambition can be mixed with anxiety as you consider these options. Mars and the North Node, which is where we're going. The North Node is where we're going. The South Node is where we're coming from. It's in your career sector, your sector of self-expression, really. That suggests moving towards a creative peak or a romantic peak. So actively choosing to display your talents or do what feels best for you is encouraged. And the ease with which you move forward will be based on your choices during the Mercury square. Sun and Venus in your communication sector introduces beneficial and exciting news, a message, a romantic message, an injection of optimism or courage. The full moon is in your opportunities sector. It delivers a culmination involving Sun, Venus, and the areas of travel, publishing, broadcasting, education, legal matters. A message can lead to much more or what you say or decide can have far-reaching consequences. However, Chiron, the wounded healer, will be activated, which means you'll be dealing with a mix of confidence and insecurity. Will your voice be heard and respected? Is what you're hearing the best thing for you? Know that the best news sometimes involves the activation of a wound. So even if this is goodbye, you're looking ahead to better things. Pisces, Mercury in your sign is square to Mars and the node. That asks you to pause before you speak or decide. Old hopes, especially involving career or future goals, have reached a point where they're no longer valid. So a choice about career versus family or status versus what's important on a core level is here, along with anxiety and impatience. This edgy energy is a sign that something must change. The Mars and North node is in your domestic area. That activates your path forward involving home business, family matters, relocation. You'll be acting based on what you decide during this Mercury square. So just consider what you want your future to look like. It's a really good manifestation moment. What feels authentic? Sun Venus is in your area of personal resources. This can indicate new sources of income, financial bonus, increase in confidence, increase in self-esteem. It's all good. And the full moon is in your area of shared resources. This delivers a result involving debts, taxes, partners' finances, intimacy, anything psychological. What you want for yourself will be balanced against what you share or owe. So insecurities and fears of helplessness or poverty might be activated even if the outcome is beneficial. These fears are meant to be confronted as you embrace new abundance. It's only good. So that's your update. I am, as ever, available at benemudra.com for natal chart readings, soul astrology, and spiritual teaching. I'm available on Instagram at Lauren, Lauren _ Dalvia, Dalvia. And I just want to express gratitude as ever to my mentors, Diana Brown and Remington Donovan, and to especially Nadia Gilchrist, whose writing and mathematics and astrological aplomb is the basis entirely of this report. She's amazing. So thank you, Nadia, and thank you, Diana and Remington, and I thank you all. Have a beautiful week.